Welcome in to My Two Bits. This is First Bites. We are looking at the rapid reaction of LIU versus the Florida Gators tonight. I am your host, Mr. Randy, along with my other host, Ben. Ben, what is a good word tonight, my man?
Well, just finished up a shutout in the swamp. Always a good thing. Always a good thing. Enjoy that, even though I think we may have some other thoughts as we go through here. But looking forward to starting this new tradition this season and giving a quick take here right after the game. Give our initial thoughts, and then of course we'll break everything down as we normally would on Monday night.
Exactly. So, okay, B, we got to keep it short, right?
Yep.
First bites, we're keeping it concise, nice and simple. We're going to go through a quick agenda, right? We're going to give a game summary at a high level. We're going to look over some key stats. We're going to look at an impact play. We're going to look at a player of the game, and then we're going to go to wrap up. So, like our regular show, again, factual analysis, all things Florida Gator football. Yes, we're going to make it as accurate as we possibly can, citing our sources whenever we use them. All statistical data tonight coming from ESPN, the box score. So we're going to go start off from there. Now, let's go to the opening point on the agenda, game summary. B, what do you got?
Yeah, so I think a couple takeaways for me here. Before we get into stats, I would say just overall feel of this was much like other season openers for Florida. There were some knocking off of the rust. Now, I will say with Lagway, I think that's understandable to a degree because obviously we know he didn't get to throw a lot in the offseason. So some of the missed passes, but just also some of the decision making, I think early on was a little head scratching maybe. But ultimately he ended up pretty well or pretty good as far as the stats go.
Yeah.
15 for 18, 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. So not near the yardage total we thought he might get, but that's because he threw underneath a lot. And we'll talk a little more about that in a minute. But I think overall, just execution wise, it wasn't bad, but it certainly wasn't good enough against an inferior opponent. So high level takeaways, team wise, we were looking at 451 yards to 86. So the other takeaway here is the 86. The defense was pretty exceptional. They crossed the 50 once in this game, once. And they probably were lucky to do that, quite frankly. 86 yards is crazy. So defense looked very good. Really did show up. Obviously, it's an inferior opponent, but still under 100 yards is pretty remarkable for no matter who you're playing. So I think that was pretty impressive. And yeah, I think definitely some things that I am pleased with, but also some things that I am definitely concerned about is my takeaway. How about you?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, well said. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Knocking off of the rust. Obviously, we know what happened last year at the season opener, an absolute heartbreaker, mind scratcher, brain twister, whatever you want to call it, right? And tonight, we knew what the opponent was. We knew who they were. We knew who the Finns were, right? And at the end of the day, we knew that we were going to win big. It was just a matter of how did it look? Did it pass the eye test? How do we look between the white lines? We were concerned about Lagway in the time he had with his receivers. Obviously, with the calf injury, they're late in fall camp. So there was that. And then some other injuries when we looked at what was happening with some other players that we thought would be on the field.
Yeah.
We're not, right? Especially Dallas Wilson
a few, yeah.
in a boot, right? So that is what it is. Outside of that, B, they had 50 yards going into the fourth quarter game, did the Sharks. Okay? Like,
yeah.
I knew this defense, we talked about this defense could potentially play with the E word going towards the end of the season. Can they be elite? Okay? And boy, they looks like they just picked up where they left off. And
did look good.
It looked good. And again, we know the opponent. We know it was a fair opponent, but I'm telling you, I lost keeping her pitching because I'm thinking they're going to at least get 200 yards. Yeah. Come on, right? Yeah. So that was that. Happy to see we won the turnover battle, right? I don't. Maybe somebody wanted to see interception. I was calling for a pick six a time or two, especially in the second half, but they just didn't throw the ball that well. And the only time they made it past the 75-yard mark is in that fourth quarter. Had a 28-yard completion. That was what it was. We saw some things, though. I don't want to say this too soon. Again, rapid reaction, but too soon. will I still be eating some great value plain vanilla ice cream on offense this year?
That's the big
right?
concern for sure.
Just is.
Yeah.
Just is.
Yep.
And then, hey, I thought we were going to see DJ take the first snap of the second half, then Trammell, then Harrison, then,
Yeah.
you know,
That was surprising.
right? But no, Trammell the rest of the half.
Yep.
So good for him. Good for him. So outside of that, there's my initial opening reaction on that. So key stats, B, what do you have as far as key stats goes?
Yeah, so I think some key takeaways. Well, one key stat that jumps off the page is penalties. 12 for 100 for LIU, 12 for 100 yards. That's remarkable. They didn't gain 100 yards and they got pushed back 100 yards. So let's look at that. That's never good.
You don't say.
Right? That's never good when your offense doesn't gain as many yards as you were penalized. Yeah, not good. Obviously a team that was physically overmatched, but clearly there's some I think some concerns there on that side of the ball. And for the record, we'll talk about this obviously Monday, but refs pretty good. Made a lot of calls that were correct.
Yeah.
And it's not just because I say that because they had 12 penalties and we had 0, which was kind of remarkable. Did see one place where we could have gotten a call that we didn't, by the way. We'll talk about that one on Monday, but it was borderline, but we could have been flagged for it. But overall, it was a clean game. Played pretty well. Better than I thought it would be based on my keeper pitches. So that's one I lost. So there was one play that was close, but I'll let that have a pass. But
let it go.
But that's a key takeaway. I think the other key takeaway for me is going to be the fact that we were 251 in the air, 200 on the ground. So interesting in terms of the kind of run pass mix there. A few more passing attempts later in the game and a few more running earlier in the game. A little surprised with some of our ineffectiveness running the ball, especially in the first half. That was surprising, but again, from a key stat standpoint, I think overall glad to see Jaden Ball get 100 yards. Talk more about that in a minute, but yeah. So what's your takeaways if I didn't take them all?
No, good takeaways. DJ Lagway, 15 for 18, $120, 6.7 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Trammell Jones, 12 for 18, 131, 7.3 on the average, and 2 touchdowns. So again, Trammell threw a great ball. The ball was coming out of his hand very good. Very good. Great to see that. Jaden Ball over 100 yards.
Yep.
As we thought he would go for in this game. We thought Jack Cheese would be right behind him there with about 50 to 80 yards. And he finished with 24.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Right. And the ball left his hand. That was very surprising to see that.
Agreed.
Great for Damian for covering it up. Awesome. Great. But outside of that, yeah. And I tell you what, B, we had a lot of bodies in and out. A lot of bodies.
Mm-hmm.
That was great to see. Outside of that, especially on the defense, Bryce Thornton, ball hawk.
Yeah,
absolute ball hawk. So that was great. Miles Graham, 5 tackles. Cameron James, 5 tackles. Jaden Robinson, Miles Johnson, 4 tackles and 4 tackles. Great to see that there. Brendan Bett. Brendan Bett, welcome to college football.
Yep.
3 tackles. Devin Moore, 2. George, a host of Gators.
Welcome to SEC football. He did play college before.
SEC football. Fair. But outside of that, I thought it was a great showing, especially when you look at the opponent and all of the different looks, all the different players we had in there. It was great to see a lot of different guys take the field. Okay. So there's anything else to wrap that segment up, B?
I don't think so. I think we're good there. I think, not obviously going to be anything that's really overly revelationary. I don't think that's a word.
Revolutionary?
No.
Yeah.
I want to say that's going to cause a revelation. So
no epiphanies, folks.
Yes, no epiphanies. There you go. And out of these stats, again, clearly an overmatched opponent, and that shows through in a lot of this stuff. So I think we can move it on to the next topic here.
And hey, the Gators didn't have turnovers.
Nope.
So
no turnovers, no penalties.
No turnovers, no penalties. I like it. I like where we're headed.
I do too. That part's good.
Batting 1,000. Okay. B, impact play. Give me your impact play of the game.
Yep. So this one actually was a little hard for me to come up with because as much as we, obviously had some big plays in the game, for me, an impact play is one that really influences the outcome of the game. So I'm going to actually go with Bryce Thornton, George Gums / Bryce Thornton on the third play from scrimmage of the game. LIU gains 5 yards on the first play, 5 yards on the second play, gets a first down. Not a great start for the Gator defense. That's not what you want to see out of an FCS team running the football, right? And then the third play from scrimmage, George Gums comes around, tackles the quarterback, I believe. It's quarterback or the running back. I'm not sure which one. Punches the ball out. Bryce Thornton picks it up, runs it in for a touchdown. That was my impact play of the game. That set the tone for the defense for the rest of the night, and boy, did they deliver after that.
That is a great impact play. Phenomenal impact play. For me, I would say, it's hard to say the number of runs, but if I had to guess, it's probably the fourth or fifth run by Jaden Ball.
Yep.
Coming into the second quarter.
Yeah.
And this kid, he just would not give up. He is, and I coined the term hashtag wrecking ball during that. But I swear, he just bounces, and and I think the main thing with him is because he played so much defense in high school, he's accustomed to hitting, right? So he absorbs the hit, he takes the hit, and he loves to lower the shoulder and give the hit back. So I think the thing about Jaden this season, setting the tone for the rest of the running backs in that room and understanding what we need to do. And if Jaden runs like that every game, it's just going to be done. It's going to be sealed. And clearly, Jacoby has a lot left in the tank. But at the end of the day, Jaden is setting the tone for this running back room, and I love what he's doing. So his run, phenomenal. All right, player of the game, B.
Yeah. So this one you just led into nicely for me, and I'm going to have mine as Jaden Ball. I think he takes it for me. Goes over 100 yards. Averages 11.6 a carry. Let me get my stat check here. Yep, 11.6 a carry, and it has a touchdown. And importantly, in that 11.6, because sometimes that number will get jumped up by a big run during a game, his long was 26. So nothing, no 70, 80 yard push in there to drive that number up.
There you go.
He basically averaged 11 yards a carry, right? I mean, a couple obviously were less, but a couple were clearly more. But nothing that's gonna, stagger that average out by having some monster carry in there. He was just consistently pushing it for first down yardage over and over and over again. So really, really good stuff out of him. And like you just mentioned, the ability to bounce off tackles, the ability to, run after contact, and the ability to make guys miss. We saw that as well. That continues to just be so impressive to me at his size, how he can be so shifty and just make a guy miss, whether it's in the hole at the line of scrimmage or 10 yards down the field. I mean, he is a different kind of back man, and that part of tonight was very, very exciting to me. Really, really looking forward to what we're going to see there for the rest of the season. That has me pumped.
Incredibly shifty. All right,
Yep.
My player of the game, I got to give it to VB3.
Yeah, that's definitely the other candidate for sure.
3 receptions, 79 yards, 26.3 average.
Yep.
0 touchdowns, but that long reception of 41 yards that was, dare I say, da-na-na, da-na-na.
Yeah, it's already viral.
It is, right? It is. Bottom line, VB3 put up stats on the receiving side, put up stats on the return. Loved him returning kicks.
Yeah.
Love to see that there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Phenomenal. All right, B, wrap up, closing thoughts. What do we got?
Yeah, so we mentioned this at the beginning, and I want to come back to it now and talk about it a little more in depth. The offense in the first quarter, the passing offense in the first quarter, especially, though I had a few concerns with how the O-line was blocking the run to a degree as well. But the passing offense in the first quarter was concerning. Again, I'll attribute some of that to Lagway's rust and some of his decision making. But I mean, we were not getting separation. We were not getting with our receivers. We were not running any kind of route that did anything to help him, as usual. There was no creativity. You mentioned it, the vanilla. Now, again, it's LIU. We're not going to go out here and put a bunch of creative and new and different things on film so that other teams can go, aha, that's what Florida's going to do with Lagway this year.
Right.
I get that. I understand that. But it's still worrisome because we couldn't even get guys open against a drastically overmatched opponent.
Sure.
I mean, Samford is a better team than this team, and we got guys open against them last year. Now, we did have receivers out in this game, but you would still think the ones that we had should have and could have been able to get open. Also did not like Trey's stat line in this game. He did have a touchdown, but he was 5 receptions for -4 yards. Yes, you heard me. 5 receptions for -4 yards and a touchdown. That's disconcerting to say the least. We got to get over this stuff with him catching the ball behind the line and trying to make guys miss. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Teams just blow it up. They know it's coming. They've seen our film. They know what to do with it. An FCS school shut it down.
Very predictable.
What do you think an SEC team's going to do if an FCS school does that? It's not good. So my closing thoughts are I have concerns, as I mentioned in the beginning here. There are things that have to get better. That this is not good enough against the competition that we are going to face. I will say to end on a positive note, though, the defense did look outstanding, overmatched opponent or not. They still looked really good. And the offense did get better as things went along. DJ's last touchdown pass to Jamichael in the end zone was a thing of beauty. Back shoulder fade, perfect ball, perfect timing, absolutely unguardable by anybody. He had blanketed coverage, perfect pass, money. So there were things, there were positive takeaways. It's not all grim and them and all that stuff. So ultimately, what I'm trying to get to is I do think that there's optimism, but I am concerned. I have worries. So we'll see what happens. What do you got?
Gotcha. You know what? We did our job. We did our job. It's really neat to see a double nickel put on the scoreboard.
Yeah, agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, okay, cover the spread, 41 or so, 40, that'll be fine. I expected to see hiccups. We saw hiccups, but not procedurally. Phenomenal. Didn't think Bryce Thornton was going to get 2 fumble recoveries. One took it back for a touchdown. Was hoping VB3 would get a shot at making a house call, returning a kick. That's all right. He's a great kid. I love him. Of course, we love him. Great leg, but disappointed in Trey's night. That was unfortunate. So 2 biggest disappointments. Not to be too negative. Trey, Smack, and Wilson.
Agreed.
So oddly enough, it was that. But we did our job. We got out of there relatively unharmed. We had a few tweaks. We saw some limping on the field. Outside of that, get out of there healthy.
Get out healthy. Yes, that's true.
Right, because we were so surprised starting the second half to see some of the starters still in there on defense.
Agreed.
Right,
Agreed.
so that was tough. But either way, happy to see those things come to fruition. So we did our job. Got a sizable victory, put a shutout, under 100 points on the 100 yards. The defense allowed. Phenomenal there.
Yep.
All right. So outside of that, we've got the next pod coming up here this Monday night. We're going to do it Labor Day night, 9/1.
Yep.
Right, where we're going to do our analysis and breakdown of LIU. And outside of that, if you want to go ahead and wrap us up, B, what else you got?
I think that's it. I think you hit on it. Again, we'll have our full normal episode where we do our full game breakdown, our first one of the season, our standard agenda for that. So if you've listened before, we kind of go through and all the stuff that we cover. So we'll give you the full breakdown then. But again, we wanted to bring you this rapid reaction and just kind of go through and give you our first taste of the first bites here. So really enjoying it. And wherever you are and whenever you may be listening, thanks for taking the time. And we will see you around, Gator Nation.